Hello folks, welcome to a video with yours truly, Lepharia. You know, from time to time I like to sit and talk about some new patch notes for the games that I'm playing and give you my impressions on that. Now the new Magic the Gathering set called Journey into Nyx, which is a patch basically, is coming out. Pre-release is this weekend, and unfortunately I won't be able to attend it. But I will give you my impressions on the Journey into Nyx spoilers so far. That's the least I can do, ain't it? So it's really important for me that I get that out there before the pre-release. So this is the official Magic the Gathering website. They have an image gallery with all the spoilers they've released so far, and as always I will just go over them and give you my impressions and my thoughts on those cards. But first of all, I'd like to talk about some new mechanics that will be introduced in Journey into Nyx. The mechanics from Theros block, like Heroic, Bestow, Devotion and stuff like that will all be there, of course, but there will be two new mechanics in there, which I'll explain now. First of all, there is Constellation, which is a triggered ability that triggers whenever another enchantment, I think, enters the battlefield. So that has to do with Nyx, like the sky with over Theros, where the gods dwell, and Constellation just is in line with that flavor, that these stars form like a constellation and have a effect on the people dwelling on Theros. What do I think about that? It's kind of dull, actually. It's not very interesting, but since a lot of creatures in Theros block are enchantment creatures, as for the gods, for example, that can be kind of interesting. We will see how they implement that on the cards in a second. And the second mechanic that they introduce is Strive. Strive lets you pay an additional cost when playing a spell, so you can buff, you can increase the number of targets of that spell. Again, my thoughts on that's not really new, isn't it? Is it? Wizards have implemented some mechanics to change the targets of a certain spell, the number of targets, that is. What comes to mind is things like Replicate and Multi-Kicker and Return to Ravnica Blockhead, Overload in the Izzet spells. So that's not really new. I kind of like it though, because it can have some implications on the heroic decks, and that give you some triggered abilities whenever you cast a spell that targets a set creature. So that can be kind of interesting. I'm very excited to see how that will work out. So far for the new mechanics in Journey into Nyx. Now let's take a look at the specific cards, shall we? First of all, we have white cards. Why not? Okay, first of all, Aegis of the Gods, 2-mana creature. You have hexproof, 2/1. I kind of like that. Hexproof on the player itself is kind of interesting mechanic, and there's not many cards that do that. There is one, but I can't come up with the name of it now. I will look it up and tell you afterwards. And since it's on a one toughness body, you can remove that creature kind of easily with like a lightning bolt type spell. So that might have some interesting implications, but it's not that strong, I think. Next up we have Ajani's Presence, 1-mana spell, and there's the new Strive mechanic. See, Ajani's Presence costs 3 more to cast for each target beyond the first. Any number of target creatures each get +1/+1 and gain indestructible until end of turn. Now that's something for the heroic decks, isn't it? And yeah, what I like about this is that it provides a mana sink, doesn't it, for the heroic decks, because I've built a white-based heroic deck in the current block, and it's not very mana hungry. I think the highest mana cost on a creature that I have is like 3, and apart from that, everything is just way cheaper. So you will end up with a lot of unused mana in the late game, and you could use this spell to use your excess mana to pump up your creatures massively. And yeah, I think I like that card. I think it's good, and I think the 3 mana is reasonable for the extra target. So you need like 7 mana to cast this on 3 target creatures, which is, I think that's a fair number. Then we have Acroan Mastiff, 4 mana 2/2, white, tap target creature. That looks like garbage. It's kind of overcosted, right? I could see that working in limited. We'll see, but not too excited about that. Armament of Nyx, 3 mana. Enchanted creature has double strike as long as it's an enchantment. Otherwise, prevent all damage that would be dealt by enchanted creature. What? Okay, so there's a double kind of effect. I can buff up my own enchantment creatures, or I can prevent the damage of my opponent's non-enchantment creatures, right? Oh, I kind of like that. It looks kind of flexible. Again, it seems viable and limited as a kind of removal spell, some sort of like a pacifism kind of thing. Not quite, but you get the idea. Okay, Banishing Light, 3 mana. Enchantment, when Banishing Light enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent controls until Banishing Light leaves the battlefield. So Oblivion Ring, basically. Oblivion Ring, Detention Sphere, come to mind, Fiend Hunter, something like that. Yeah, that's cool. Dawnbringer Charioteers, 4 mana, double white, flying lifelink 2/4. Heroic, whenever you cast a spell that targets Dawnbringer Charioteers, put a +1/+1 counter on Dawnbringer Charioteers. Yeah. Okay. A lifelink Wingsteed Rider, right? Yeah. Could be good. D-side. Instant. Exile target enchantment. If the exile card is a god card, search its controller's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with the same name as that card and exile them. Then that player shovels his or her library. Okay, so that's enchantment removal, which has some more implications when you kill the gods of the Theros block expansion. Okay, the gods are not really that big of a problem, are they? I don't think. I haven't had that many problems with them. So I don't think if you don't know if you really need to devote a card to that, really. But might be a good sideboard card, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the new gods are really overpowered. I don't know. We'll see in a minute. So, Dictative Heliod, 5 mana, enchantment flash, creatures you control get +2/+2. Yeah, 5 mana combat trick. Okay, well, +2/+2 is a big deal, of course, but I don't know. The power level doesn't really flash me all that well. Okay, but who knows? Might be good. Again, kind of good in weenie decks and sort of like this heroic stuff. Maybe some implications with like Constellation or something. We'll see about that. Eagle of the Watch, 2/1 flying with vigilance for 3. Okay, reasonable. Looks like again like a viable limited pick, but I can't see that having a lot of effect in constructed. Then Eidolon of Rhetoric, 3 mana. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Ouch. Okay. I don't like that, really. Well, this guy will have a bounty on his head, right, when he comes out. At least I will Doomblade him really fast. But that's, yeah, might be good against, like, aggro and weenie decks that rely on very cheap creatures. We'll see. Font of Vigor. 2 mana. 3 mana, sacrifice Font of Vigor, you gain 7 life. Garbage. Gross. Pure life gain, never good. No. Godsend. 3 mana. Legendary artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +3/+3. Hey, hello. Oh, that's mythic rare. Well. Whenever a creature blocks or becomes blocked by one or more creatures, you may exile one of those creatures. Opponents can't cast cards with the same name as cards exiled with Godsend. Holy shit. That looks powerful. Oh shit, I'm afraid of that. Wow. Becomes blocked by one or more. Blocks or becomes blocked by one or more creatures, you may exile one of those creatures. Opponents can't cast cards with the same name as cards exiled with Godsend. That's like my recipe against Desecration Demon and Pack Rat, huh? Yeah, that looks good. That will be expensive, I think. We'll see, but yeah, I'm excited about that card. I think that's very well designed. 3 equip +3/+3. Wow. Okay. Harvest God El-Said. There's a constellation card. Hey. 3 mana, 2/3. Whenever Harvest God El-Said or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, prevent all damage that would be dealt to target creature this turn. Huh. Okay. Okay. Let's move on. Laguna Band Trailblazers 0/4 for 1. And Heroic, whenever you cast a spell that targets Laguna Band Trailblazers, put a +1/+1 counter on Laguna Band Trailblazers. I like this card. 4 mana for 4 toughness for 1 mana is good, I think. And the heroic trigger lets it grow. So yeah, that guy could be big. That guy could be really big. I like that. I like the very defensive nature of it. Might be good in control decks. We'll see. Launch the Fleet. 1 mana. Strive, launch the fleet, costs 1 colorless more to cast for each target beyond the first. Until end of turn, any number of target creatures each gain whenever this creature attacks. Put a 1/1 white soldier creature token onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Whoa. God, that will be a bomb, won't it? In limited at least. You'll have like white-based heroic decks with like 5 creatures in them. Each get the heroic trigger, and you attack, and then you get 5 tokens. Wow, that's impressive. I like that. I will pick that up when I get the chance of it. Leonin Iconoclast, 4 mana, 3/2 heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Leonin Iconoclast, destroy target enchantment creature an opponent controls. Reusable removal on a creature body. Yeah, that looks fancy. Good. I like that. And Mortal Obstinacy. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Obstinacy? Yeah, Obstinacy. 1 mana, enchantment aura, enchant creature you control. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. Whenever enchanted creature deals combat damage to player, you may sacrifice Mortal Obstinacy. If you do, destroy target enchantment. Good. +1/+1 and removal. That you may use as you please. Onboard removal though, so yeah, but might be good sideboard card, something like that. Then Nyx Fleece Ram, a sheep. 2 mana, 0/5. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain 1 life. Life gain with no attack on a creature. Nah. The art's kind of cool though, but the rest is garbage. Oppressive Raise. 1. Enchanted creature can't attack or block unless its controller pays 3. Activated abilities of enchanted creature cost 3 more to activate. Okay. So weak kind of pacifism. Sort of. And turns down activated abilities, so that's good against like Erebos and all the gods actually. What other cards are there that have activated abilities in the current block? Let's say in Theros. What else is there? The monstrosity creatures could be good, couldn't they? could be good on monstrosity creatures, because if the monstrosity ability is very expensive as it is, and if that's even more expensive by 3, that could be good. Like on Pelucranos and Hythonia, which I like a lot. Yeah. Oresco Swiftclaw, 2 mana, 3/1. 1 mana, 1 toughness body. I always don't dislike that, but maybe. Vanilla creature, nothing exciting to say about that. Phalanx Formation, 3 mana, Strive. Phalanx Formation costs 2 more to cast for each target beyond the first. Any number of target creatures each gain double strike until end of turn. Good and heroic again, I'd say. Yeah, same reason as, what was that, Johnny's Presence or something? Yep. And Quarry Colossus, 7 mana, 5/6. When Quarry Colossus enters the battlefield, put target creature into its owner's library just beneath the top X card of that library, where X is the number of planes you control. That's kind of wacky. Yeah. Well, at least it's a bounce or time up kind of effect when it comes into play. But I don't know if I like that. Power level seems a bit underwhelming for 7 mana. But hey. And Reprisal, 2 mana. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. It can't be regenerated. That's nice. Removal's always great. Sightless Brawler, 2 mana. Bestow for 5. Sightless Brawler can't attack alone. Enchanted creature gets +3/+2 and can't attack alone. Yeah, okay. Fine with that. +3/+2 is a big deal. 5 mana though. You can't attack alone with it. Well, 3/2 for 2 mana is good, at least. But could be better. Skybind for 5. Constellation. Whenever Skybind or another enchantment creature enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, exile target non-enchantment permanent. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Bouncing engine. Blinking engine, rather. Yeah, that could be nice. If you have like several of those enchantment things in play. Oh no, you exile target non-enchantment permanent, sorry. Yeah, but something like this guy here, if you blink that guy some more, that could be nice. I can see that being useful, but yeah, we'll have to see about that. Sky Spear Cavalry, 5 mana, 2/2. 2/2? Oh, 2/2 flying double strike. Yeah, okay, slightly overcosted, but yeah, kind of reasonable. Stonewise Fortifier, 2 mana, 2/2. 5 mana, prevent all damage that would be dealt to Stonewise Fortifier by target creature this turn. 5 mana is a big deal, and you won't be able to activate that that often. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to Stonewise Fortifier by target creature this turn. So you can block like 1 creature and for free. Yeah. Bit underwhelming. And Supply Line Cranes. 5 mana, 2/4. Flying. When Supply Line Cranes enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. What's up with all these garbage creatures, 5 mana for that? That's a bit much. I don't like that. But hey, they have to be crappy creatures, right? Can they all be good? Okay, the Tethmos High Priest, Cat Cleric. 3 mana, 2/3. Heroic. Whenever you cast a spell, blah 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 blah. Return target creature card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. That is kind of a big deal in like heroic decks, because they are all very cheap. Like Wingsteed, no, not Wingsteed Rider. Wingsteed Rider is the example against that. But like Phalanx Leader, a Crone Crusader, stuff like that. I can see that guy being very good in limited. Okay, so that's all for the white cards. Some good stuff in there. Let's continue with the blue ones. And Aerial Formation, 1 mana. Strife. Aerial formation costs 3 more to cast for each target beyond the first. Any number of target creatures each get +1/+1 and gain flying until end of turn. I like that. Yeah. I don't think that blue-based heroic is a thing in current block. In limited or constructed. But you don't have to use that in heroic-based decks, do you? You could use this as a sort of finishing spell in a control deck. Gosh. Yeah, as I said, I finish in control decks, so you can use all of your mana to make all your big dudes flying and swing in for the kill. Yeah, that could be good. And Battlefield Thaumaturge. 2 mana, 2/1. Each instant and sorcery spell you cast costs 1 less to cast for each creature it targets. Each instant and sorcery spell you cast costs 1 less to cast for each creature it targets. So that's like the Strife, make Strife cheaper engine. Heroic, whenever you cast a spell that casts Battlefield Thaumaturge gains hexproof until end of turn. Isn't that spell counted then? Isn't it? I think it is, isn't it? When you cast it, that means the spell is on the stack. That means that ability goes onto the stack. Then he's hexproof, and then oh no, hexproof is can't be targeted by spells your opponents control. I am stupid. I'm sorry. Please excuse that. I was confusing that with Shroud. So yeah, okay. Well, the heroic trigger is not the big deal, but the make Strife cheaper stuff seems to be a big deal. Yeah, and that's because he's rare. Okay, let's move on. Cloaked Siren. I like the art. 4 mana, flash, flying, 3/2. Okay. Combat trick removal, kind of. Not too good, but hey. Countermand. 4 mana. Counter target spell. His controller puts the top 4 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. Milling, eh? Okay. So that's like a Grisly Spectacle with as a counter spell. Okay. If milling is a thing in the block that in the set, then that could be good. Let's see. Crystalline Nautilus. That's a lot of text there. 3 mana for 4. Bestow for 5. When Crystalline Nautilus becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. So that's the drawback of that. Enchanted creature gets +4/+4 and has when this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. Looks like garbage, doesn't it? But yeah, it's maybe in tempo decks because it's kind of cost efficient, but nah, I don't know. Dacromystic. 1 mana, 1/1. Blue, tap, each player reveals the top card of his or her library. You may put the revealed cards into their owner's graveyards. If you don't, each player draws a card. Okay. So if I reveal a card that I really want myself, I can put it into my hand, but my opponents get theirs too. Otherwise, I just mill everyone. Okay. Whatever. Daring Thief. 3 mana, 2/3. Inspired. Whenever Daring Thief becomes untapped, you may exchange control of target non-land permanent you control and target permanent an opponent controls that shares a card type with it. Okay. You kind of have to build your deck around that, don't you? I don't see how that could be useful. But yeah, I can swap one of my weak creatures with one of his big ones, right? Yeah. But I have to untap him, so I have to attack with him first, and he can block and stuff like that. But it could be kind of powerful. Yeah, I can see that. Dictate of Crewfix. Who's Crewfix again? Is Crewfix in? Was Crewfix revealed already, or is he in this set? I don't know. Dictate of Crewfix. 1 colorless, double blue, flash at the beginning of each player's draw step. That player draws an additional card. Okay. Why the flash though? I don't see what that is. Okay, so I could play it after my untap step, so I can get a card in an additional card in my upkeep. Okay. Font of Fortunes. 2 mana enchantment, sacrifice Font of Fortunes, draw 2 cards. Why? Why not make it a 4 mana spell that draws 2 cards? That's in there. That's called. Is that divination or is that 3 cards? Oh, that's 3 cards, isn't it? Yeah, why do you have to do Sorry, I'm tripping over my words here. Why do we have to put it on an enchantment body? I didn't see that. That's not very well designed, is it? Yeah. Okay. Well, the card's garbage. That's the bottom line of it. God Hunter Octopus. 6 mana. 5/5. God Hunter Octopus. Can't attack unless defending player controls an enchantment or an enchanted permanent. Well, 5/5 for 6 would be bad even without this drawback, right? So, yeah. Hour of Need, 3 mana, instant. Thrive. Hour of Need costs 2 more to cast for each target beyond the first. Exile any number of target creatures. For each creature exiled this way, each controller puts a 4/4 blue Sphinx creature token with flying onto the battlefield. And again, finisher and control decks, I'd say. You exile all of your creatures and get big Sphinxes and swing for the win. Yeah. Okay. Hubris. 2 mana, instant. Return target creature and all auras attached to it to their owner's hand. Weak bounce spell if you use it on an opponent's creatures because he gets his auras back. Good instant spell if you want to save one of your creatures that has a lot of auras on it. But very situational in my eyes. Hypnotic Siren, 1 mana, 1/1. Flying, bestow for 7. You control an enchanted creature. Oh, shit. Yeah, I like that. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has flying. So it's a good and pricey mind control. And I like it that you can that you have a bestow spell for an opponent's creature. Yeah, that hasn't been there before. Well, people have done that with bestowing a creature onto an opponent's creatures, so it gets bigger, and you can kill it with Elspeth, and you get the creature, the bestow creature yourself. I've heard people do that, but that's very, very wacky. Very wacky thing to do. So I like that they did a creature that encourages that. Okay. Interpret the signs. 6 sorcery, scry 3, then reveal the top card of your library, then draw cards equal to that card's converted mana cost. Okay. That could be huge. Well, you get to scry 3, which means you have a lot of influence to the number of cards that you draw. Yeah. That could be a good restock spell, couldn't it? Kiora's Dismissal, like the art on this here. 1 blue. Kiora's Dismissal costs 1 blue more to cast for each target beyond the first. Return any number of target enchantments to their owner's hands. Nice. Replicate bounce spell for 1 mana. I like that. Oh, with its enchantments, it's not... Oh, yeah, you can use it on enchantment creatures then. That's fair. Creatures would be kind of OP. There would be Gigadras on crack. But, yeah. I can see that being useful. A lot of the creatures are enchantment creatures, so you can just bounce them all. Pin to the earth. 2 mana, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets -6, -0. Yeah, weak removal aura might be okay and limited. You can enchant one of his creatures and say, yeah, you know, that one fairly good creature that you got, it doesn't do anything now. Okay, fine. Polymorphous Rush, 3 mana, strive for 2. Choose a creature on the battlefield. Any number of target creatures you control each become a copy of that creature until end of turn. That's kind of wacky again, but yeah, cool. Pack rat, anyone? Pull from the Deep. 4 mana sorcery. Return up to 1 target instant card and up to 1 target sorcery card from your graveyard, to your hand. Exile, pull from the deep. Very overcosted, I think. 4 mana. I can't see that being good. But we'll see. Riptide Chimera. Ooh, I like the art on that. That's like a double shark head on that. Nice. 3 mana flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, return an enchantment you control to its owner's hand. I want one, Kiora. I like the flavor text of that one. Yeah. Okay, well, fair enough. Return an enchantment you control to its owner's hand. So you need to have like one cheap enchantment creature that you can always bounce. Otherwise, you just get that guy back at the start of your turn again. Yeah, I like that. Rise of Eagles, 6 mana. Put 2/2 blue bird enchantment creature tokens with flying onto the battlefield. Try to whatever. For 6 mana, that looks like garbage. Nah, that's pretty bad. Sage of Hours, 2 mana. 1/1 heroic. Whenever you cast a spell on the target Sage of Hours, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Remove all +1/+1 counters from Sage of Hours. For each 5 counters removed this way, take an extra turn after this one. Are you fucking mad? What? No. Okay, that's mythic rare, but no. No freaking way. You're telling me that you can... There must be a way to get like infinite turns with like 2 or 3 cards in play. There's no way that's not possible. We'll see about that, but I don't want to see that combo on the field. Oh god, no. And I thought Metamai the Ageless was good. Okay, that guy will cost a fortune, I can guarantee you that. Scourge of Fleet. Let's move on. 7 mana, 6/6. When Scourge of Fleet enters the battlefield, return each creature your opponent controls with toughness X or less to its owner's hand, where X is the number of islands you control. Nice. Control deck finisher. Yeah, I like that. Sigilled Starfish, 2 mana. Tap for scry 1. Fair enough. 0/3, good defensive body. Yeah, that's okay. Thassa's Devourer, 5/6 constellation. Whenever Thassa's Devourer or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, target player puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. There you have the milling again. Okay, so that seems to be a theme. Good. I like milling as a strategy. So, nice to see that. Nice to see strategies that don't rely on dealing damage to win. Thassa's Ire, for 1 enchantment, you may tap or untap target creature. Tap or untap. We did have an inspired guy, didn't we? Yeah. So that could be good in that. I think in that with that creature or other inspired creatures. Otherwise, it just you may untap one of your blockers or tap one of your opponent's attackers, tap one of his blockers. Yeah, fair enough. 4 mana is a good cost for that. And Triton Cavalry. Are they riding on seahorses? That looks cute. 2/4 for 4. Heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Triton Cavalry, you may return target enchantment to its owner's hand. Okay, fair enough. Bounce, heroic trigger, nice. Triton Shorestalker, 1 mana, 1/1. Triton Shorestalker can't be blocked. So you bestow all of your good stuff on him and swing in for a lot of damage. Warwing Siren, 3 mana, 1/3 flying. Heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Warwing Siren, put a +1/+1 counter on Warwing Siren. Whitewater Naiads. 5 mana, Constellation, whenever white water naiads or another enchantment creature, blah, blah, blah. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Okay, fair enough. I like that. 4/4 for 5. Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay, so much for the blue cards. Next up are the black ones. So I'm excited about that. And Agent of Erebos. 4 mana, 2/2. Constellation, whenever blah. Exile all cards from target player's graveyard. Graveyard hate, huh? Cool. Is graveyard stuff a thing? Like Reanimator and stuff like that? Not really, is it? But yeah, okay. Could be good with a milling stuff. Whatever. Aspect of Gorgon. Yay! Gorgon card. For those of you who don't know, I have a Gorgon base deck. And can I use it in there? Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+3 and has death touch. Nope. Nope, I can't. That card's too bad. But I will pick it up just for collector's value, because I like collecting Gorgon cards. Might be good in limited though. Blood Crazed Hoplite. 2 mana, 2/1, heroic. Whenever you cast a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever a +1/+1 counter is placed on Blood Crazed Hoplite, remove a +1/+1 counter from target creature and opponent controls. Cool. White based heroic creature. Okay. Brain Maggot. Nice. I like that name. 2 mana, 1/1. When Brain Maggot enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals his hand and you choose a non-land card from it. Exile that card until Brain Maggot leaves the battlefield. Okay. A mix of Thoughtseize and Fiend Hunter. Could be very powerful. If you play it on turn 2 and remove one of his cards, and he has to deal with this guy doesn't want to deal with because it's not really a threat. Yeah. That looks fine. Cast into Darkness. 2 mana. Enchanted creature gets -2/-0 and can't block. Yeah, whatever. Cruel Feeding. 1 mana. Strive. Cruel Feeding costs 3 more for each target beyond the first. Any number of target creatures each get +1 and +0 and gain lifelink until end of turn. Yeah, same thing here. Power level wise, not that good. But yeah, again, could be good in limited. Dictate of Erebos, 5 mana, flash enchantment. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent sacrifices a creature. I like that. If you have 5 mana open, and he goes for a kill on one of your creatures, and you're like, BAM! Sacrifice one of yours. Doomwake Giant, 5 mana, for 6. Constellation, whenever blah, creatures your opponents control get -1/-1 until end of turn. Okay. So you have to play like multiple enchantments to get rid of bigger creatures. But that's fine. Yeah, power level wise that seems fair. Deathbringer Lampad. 5 mana for 2. A constellation when blah. Target creature gains intimidate until end turn. Extinguish all hope. Who's that? Is that one of the new gods? That's Erebos, that is Phoenix. Extinguish all hope. Destroy all non-enchantment creatures. I like that. Very good. But 6 mana is kind of pricey for a Wrath effect, but yeah, I like that. Feast of Dreams. 2 mana. Destroy target enchanted creature or enchanted creature or enchantment creature. Yeah. Okay. Like another kind of conditional removal. And that's always nice. Fellhide Petrify. He's killing a Gorgon. No! 3 mana Death Touch. Other Minotaur creatures you control have Death Touch. No, don't kill the Gorgons. Don't do that. It's common practice among Minotaurs to collect the heads of their victims as trophies. Sometimes the trophies prove more than ornamental. That's why he uses the Gorgon's head to petrify things. Font of Return. 2 mana. Sacrifice Font of Return for 4 mana. Return up to 3 target creature cards from a graveyard to your hand. Okay, that's something I can get behind. That's kind of powerful if you get 3 creatures back. Gnarled Scarhide. 1 mana. 2/1. Bestow 4/4. Enchanted creature gets yeah, garbage. Grim Guardian. 3 mana, Constellation, 1/4. Whenever Grim Guardian, blah, each opponent loses 1 life. Okay, fair enough. King Makar, the Gold Cursed. Legendary creature. 4 mana, 2/3, Inspired. Whenever it becomes untapped, you may exile target creature. If you do, put a colorless artifact creature named Gold onto the battlefield. It has sacrificed this artifact and add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Okay. Okay. Don't know if that's good. You can exile one of your... No, you can exile one of your opponent's creatures and you get 3 mana. But yeah, that's really good. Okay, forget everything I said. That guy's really good. Master of the Feast. 3 mana, 5/5 flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent draws a card. 3 mana, 5/5 flying. Are you fucking kidding me? That's Desecration Demon all over again. Oh my god. Who cares about the card advantage if you just kill them in 4 turns? Oh my god, no. Okay, well. Black Devotion decks incoming. Nightmarish End. 3 mana. Target creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your hand. Okay. Whatever. Doesn't seem too good. Because if you cast it on turn 3, you don't have that many cards in your hand, normally. Nyx Infusion. There's a Gorgon on there. Enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 as long as it's an enchantment, otherwise it gets -2/-2. Okay, so buffing up your enchantment creatures or removing one of your opponent's non-enchantment creatures. We had that already. Farika's Chosen. There's a Gorgon on there again, right? That's a snake. 1/1 Death Touch for 1. I like that. That looks good. Returned Reveler. 2 mana. When Returned Reveler dies, each player puts the top 3 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. That's a milling again. 1/3. Yeah, fine. Ritual of the Returned. 4 mana. Instant. Exile target creature card from your graveyard. Put a black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. Its power is equal to that card's power, and its toughness is equal to that card's toughness. Okay. Good. Could be nice if you have big creatures in your graveyard. Otherwise, Rotted Hulk. 4 mana. 2/5. Vanilla creature. Nothing exciting about that. Numbers seem kind of odd. Not that good. Silence the Believers. 4 mana. Instant. Strive. Exile in a number of target creatures and all auras attached to them. Cool. 4 mana. Well, you won't be able to cast that for more than 2 target creatures, right? Maybe 3. But that's 10 mana. That's a lot. Spiteful Blow. 6 mana. Destroy target creature and target land. Oh, land destruction? Really? Okay. Squelching Leeches. Ooh, that's some wretched image here. Squelching Leeches and power and toughness are equal to the number of swamps you control. Could be good with Liliana. Thoughtrender Lamia. Enchantment creature. Lamia. 6 mana, 5/3. Constellation whenever blah. Each opponent discards a card. Meh. Tormented Thoughts. 3 mana as an additional cost to cards. Tormented Thoughts. Sacrifice a creature. Target player discards a number of cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power. Okay. Yeah, okay. If you sacrifice a big creature and he has to get rid of his hand, that's kind of big. But, I don't know. Maybe. Worst Fears. Nice art on there. You control target player during that player's next turn. Exile Worst Fears. Nice. Wow. Isn't there a Planeswalker who does that? I think there is. Yeah. But 8 mana is pretty big. So, but and that's mythic rare. But that could be kind of nice, couldn't it? I definitely want to play around with that, and I think I will put one into my, if I can get one, I will put it into my sideboard for my Gorgon deck, because there are Gorgons on there, and it has some control aspects. Okay, so far for the black cards. I like the black cards really, really much. Okay, next up are the red ones. A Crowan Linebreaker, 3 mana, 2/1, heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a Crowan Linebreaker gets +2/+0 and gains Intimidate until end of turn. Fair enough. Not too bad, but kinda weak for an uncommon. Maybe, but well, that's 4 damage with Intimidate. So if you don't playing red, he will get 4 damage through. That sounds alright. We'll see. Bearer of the Heavens, 8 mana, 10/10. Woo! When Bearer of the Heavens dies, destroy all permanents at the beginning of the next end step. Wow. Okay, that guy looks fine. So it's a 10/10, and I should be really careful or should consider a lot if I want to remove him or not. Well, pacifism. That's my answer to that. Pacifism or claustrophobia. Yeah. Or exiling him. Then that doesn't trigger, does it? Does that trigger? I don't know. I don't think so. I'll look that up. But yeah, you can actually deal with them. But 10/10 is a quite the thing. Blade Tusk Boar, 4 mana, 3/2, Intimidate. What's with all the red creatures with Intimidate? Wasn't that more of a black thing up until now? Blinding Flare, 1 mana. Strive for 1 more. Any number of target creatures can't block this turn. That could be kind of nice. Cyclops of Eternal Fury, 6 mana, 5/3. Creatures you control have haste. That is nice. Giving all of your creatures haste is always very, very powerful. Dictate of the Twin Gods, 5 mana, enchantment, flash. If a source would deal damage to permanent or player, it deals double that damage to that permanent or player instead. Furnace of Wrath, basically, with flash. Good. Eidolon of the Great Revel, double red. Whenever a player casts a spell with converted mana cost 3 or less, Eidolon of the Great Revel deals 2 damage to that player. Okay. So go big or go home, right? Yeah. Whenever a player casts a spell with converted... So you have to deal with that guy pretty fast if you want to play any sort of cheap spells. That could be strong. Flame Speaker's Will, 1 mana. Enchant creature you control. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1. Whenever enchanted creature deals combat damage to player, you may sacrifice Flame Speaker's Will. If you do, destroy target artifact. Okay. Whatever. Enchantment to get rid of like the gods' weapons and godsend and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. Not too excited about that. Flurry of Horns, 5 mana, put 2/3 red Minotaur creatures tokens with haste onto the battlefield. Fair enough. Font of Ire, 2 mana, sacrifice Font of Ire. Font of Ire deals 5 damage to target player. Yeah, okay. This seems to be a cycle here. These enchantments that you have to sacrifice to do something. 5 damage, yeah, okay, but only to target player, so why would you play that? Nah, not really, right? Forgeborn Oreads, 4 mana, 4/2 Constellation. Whenever Forgeborn Oreads or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, Forgeborn Oreads deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Okay, that seems kinda powerful. If you have a lot of enchantment creatures, cheap enchantment creatures, and you can just ping away with it, yeah, could be good. And Gluttonous Cyclops, 6 mana, 5/4 with monstrosity 3/4/7. Not a very exciting card. So that guy's in 8/7 then. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, whatever. I'm not that impressed by that. But I like the art though. I like that he's stuffing these sheep into his mouth. Like, yeah, nice. Harness by Force, 3 mana, double red though. Strive, Harness by Force costs 3 more for each target. Gain control of any number of target creatures until end of turn. Untap those creatures, they gain haste until end of turn. Okay, it's interesting. So it's like active treason with Strive. That could be kind of nice if you can afford to take over more creatures than like 1. If you can overtake like 3 creatures, that could be good, but that's 9 mana, so you have to be able to afford that, of course. Yeah, but that could be good. Knowledge and Power. Whenever you scry, you may pay 2. If you do, Knowledge and Power deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Yeah, I think we had that already in a Theros creature that dealt damage when you scry. I think that was a red creature. Yeah, okay. Not too good for 5 mana. Lightning Diadem? Is that Diadem or Diadem? I don't know. 6 mana, enchant creature, 1 lightning diadem, enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2. Not that exciting. 6 mana is very expensive, and the effect is... Nah, okay. Magma Spray. 1 mana, Magma Spray deals 2 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. So that's an Annihilating Fire Shock combo. Mogis Warhound, 2 mana, 2/2. Bestow for 3. Mogis Warhound attacks each turn if able. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and attacks each turn if able. It could be kind of nice if you bestow it, because +2/+2 will make a creature kind of big. And if you attack with that each turn, that's not very much of a drawback for you, is it? Yeah, okay. And Pensive Minotaur, 3 mana, 2/3, vanilla creature. Okay, don't care about that. Prophetic Flamespeaker, 3 mana, mythic rare, double strike trample. When Prophetic Flamespeaker deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. 1/3. Okay. You have 1 turn to play him, though. The exile card says. So, don't know if that's good. It creates card advantage, but as I said, you have 1 turn to do it. Yeah, but it's a very, very red effect, isn't it? Could be good in like Izzet or stuff. Yeah, Riddle of Lightning, 5 mana, instant, choose target creature or player, scry 3, then reveal the top card of your library. Riddle of Lightning deals damage equal to that card's mana cost to that creature or player. Okay, so you choose the creature or player beforehand and then you do all that stuff. So you have to get a bit lucky, so that's very red again. Could be nice if you have like very expensive stuff in your deck, but for 5 mana that has to be worth it. Okay, we'll see. Relic of Abandon, 5 mana, sorcery, all creatures get +2/-2 until end of turn. Okay, again, buff up your creatures, kill your opponent's creatures if they're weak. Yeah, okay, I can get behind that. 5 mana is a lot though. Rouse the Mob. 1 mana Strive. Rouse the Mob costs 3 more, and a number of target creatures each gain +2/+0 and gain trample until end of turn. Fair enough. I like that. Satyr Hoplite. 1 mana, 1/1. Heroic. Whenever you cast a spell, blah blah blah, put a +1/+1 counter on Satyr Hoplite. Okay. Sigilled Skink. What's a skink? Okay. 2 mana, 2/1. Whenever your Sigilled Skink attacks, scry 1. Okay. Spawn of Thraxis, 7 mana, 5/5. Flying, when a Spawn of Thraxis enters the battlefield, it deals damage to target creature or player equal to the number of mountains you control. Okay, that could be a bomb. If you're playing full 7 in a mono red deck, you have 7 mana out, 7 mountains. And 7 damage is quite substantial, isn't it? So, and 5/5 flying for 7 isn't that bad. I can see that card being powerful. Spite of Mogis. 1 mana sorcery. Spite of Mogis deals damage to target creature equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard, and you can scry 1. Okay, this involves a lot of math, but could be useful. I don't know. Starfall. 5 mana. Starfall deals 3 damage to target creature if that creature is an enchantment. Starfall deals 3 damage to that creature's controller. For 5 mana, okay. Whatever. Twin Flame. 2 mana Strife. Twin Flame costs 3 more to cast for each target. Choose any number of target creatures you control. For each of them, put a token that's a copy of that creature onto the battlefield. Those tokens have haste. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, I like that. But kind of expensive again. If you want to cast that for 3, you have to have 8 mana. Yeah, that's fair enough. Wildfire Cerberus. 5 mana for 3, 7 monstrosity 1. When Wildfire Cerberus becomes monstrous, it deals 2 damage to each opponent and each creature your opponents control. Okay, that looks powerful. 2 damage to all creatures is... yeah, that's okay. Okay, so much for the red cards. Let's move on to the green ones. Basara, Tower Archer, 2 mana, double green, 2/1 hexproof reach. Okay. Hexproof is always nice on a creature. Colossal Heroics, 3 mana, Strive, instant. Colossal Heroics costs 2 mana more to cast for each target beyond the first. Any number of target creatures each get +2/+2 until end of turn. Untap those creatures. Okay. So, green heroic combat trick. Or heroic enabler. Price seems alright. Consign to Dust. 3 mana, Strive, Consign to Dust costs 3 more. Destroy any number of target artifacts and or enchantments. That means enchantment creatures as well. Okay. Desecration Plague. 4 mana, destroy target enchantment or land. Land destruction, really? Okay. That also includes enchantment creatures again. Dictate of Karametra. 4 mana flash. Whenever a player taps a land for mana, the player adds 1 mana of his or her mana pool of any type that land produced. Nice. Ramp enchantment. Symmetrical though, so it might be kinda might be a bit risky. Kinda like Heartbeat of Spring, isn't it? Yeah. But it has flash, so you can does flash really do anything for you there? Well, you can tap 5, play that on your opponent's turn, and tap more mana for more mana. Really? Okay. Let's move on. Eidolon of Blossoms, 4 mana, Constellation, 2/2. Whenever Eidolon of Blossoms, blah, draw a card. Nah. Maybe Simic or Band. Yeah, drawing cards is nice, but 4 mana for 2/2. Font of Fertility. 1 mana. Sacrifice Font of Fertility. Search your library for a basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield tab, then shuffle your library. I can get behind that. That's a good ramp spell for 3 mana or 1 mana that turn to the next. Yeah, sure. Why not? Golden Hind. 2 mana, 2/1. Add green to your mana pool. Yeah, Mana Dog, sure, why not? And Golden Hind Ox, 6, 5/4 Constellation. Whenever Golden Hind blah, target creature must be blocked this turn if able. Nice. I like that. That could have some nice combat implications. Hero's Bane, 5 mana, Hydra. Hero's Bane enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. 4 mana, put X +1/+1 counters on Hero's Bane, where X is its power. Okay, the doubling the power Hydra mechanic again. Yeah, I like that. So it starts as a 4/4 for 5, which is not good. But next turn it will become an 8/8 before it attacks. So yeah, that can be good. And it's rare though. Humbler of Mortals, an elemental for 6 mana. 5/5 constellation, whenever blah. Creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. Ooh, shit. Okay. Yeah, that could be big. That's almost like an overrun. If all of your creatures gain trample, that can be a big deal. Especially when you have stuff like this in here. Or maybe that looks big as well. What does that do? Hydra Broodmaster, 6 mana, 7/7. Double X green, monstrosity X. When Hydra Broodmaster becomes monstrous, put X green Hydra creatures tokens onto the battlefield. Yeah. Those cards back to back. Yeah. Okay. Green, eh? Crew Fixes Insight. 3 mana, sorcery. Reveal the top 6 cards of your library. Put up to 3 enchantment cards from among them into your hand, and the rest of the revealed cards into your graveyard. Yeah, sure. 3 enchantment cards means you should play enchantment creatures mostly. Okay. Whatever. Market Festival. 4 mana, enchantment aura, enchant land. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds 2 mana in any combination of colors to his or her mana pool. For 4 mana, that's kind of a big, kind of a huge cost, but that can be kind of useful mana fixing wise. But it's not that impressive. Nature's Panoply. 1 mana, strive, instant. Costs 3 more for each more additional target. Choose any number of target creatures. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of them. Heroic Enabler, I think. Nessian Game Warden. 5 mana. When Nessian Game Warden enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library where X is the number of forests you control. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest onto the bottom of your library in any order. Yeah, okay. Occult Dryads, I like the art on that one. 3 mana, 2/3, Constellation. Whenever Occult Dryads blah, target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Fair enough. Ferris Band Thunderhoof. 5 mana, 3/4. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Ferris Band Thunderhoof, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Ferris Band Thunderhoof. Yeah, green heroic. Kind of big on the mana though. So, yeah, okay. Ferris Band Warchief. 4 mana, 3/3 Vigilance Trample. Other Centaur creatures you control get +1/+1 and have Vigilance and Trample. Centaur deck maybe? Like, I think Selesnya has a lot of Centaurs, even in Return to Ravnica block. Yeah, you could play around that, maybe. It's not that interesting of a mechanic, but it looks alright. Ravenous Lucrocota. 4 mana, 2/4, Vigilance, Monstrosity, 3 for 7. Yeah, sure. Renowned Weaver. 1 mana, 1/1. 2 mana, sacrifice Renowned Weaver, put a 1/3 green spider enchantment creature token with reach onto the battlefield. Okay. Onboard combat trick. Reviving Melody. 3 mana, sorcery, choose 1 or both. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, and or return target enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. Good. Satyr Grove Dancer. 2 mana, 1/1. When Satyr Grove Dancer enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Fair enough. Citas and Tactics. 2 mana, Strive. Citas and Tactics costs 1 green more for each target beyond the first. Target until end of turn, any number of target creatures each get a +1/+1 and gain. This creature fights another target creature. That's interesting. So Heroic Enabler. cheap one, and reusable prey upon on your creatures. I could see that being useful. Solidarity of Heroes. 2 mana, Strive. Solidarity of Heroes costs 2 more to cast for each target beyond the first. Choose any number of target creatures, double the amount of +1/+1 counters on each of them. Now consider the blue guy that we had before. That can take an extra turn if you remove 5 +1/+1 counters from him. And don't tell me he's not ridiculous. Spire Spine. 3 mana for 1. Bestow for 5. Spire Spine blocks each turn available. Enchanted creature gets +4/+1 and blocks each turn available. That's also only useful if you bestow it, I guess. Because, yeah, you can block once with him, but he will die. That's not that good. But if you can pump up someone's toughness, and you can block without that might be good. Strength. Strength from the Fallen. 2 mana constellation enchantment. Whenever blah, target creature gets +X until end of turn, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Okay, that could be something for Golgari, couldn't it? We'll see. Swarmborn Giant. 4 mana. When you're dealt combat damage, sacrifice Swarmborn Giant. As long as Swarmborn Giant is monstrous, it has reach. Okay. 6/6 for 4. But I can kill him by lightning bolting my opponent. Okay. Monstrosity 2. Doesn't look that great, to be honest. Okay, there are the multicolored cards. Let's continue with that in a second. Let me just take a quick break and refresh myself because I'm tripping over my words. So there we are. Multicolored cards. There we are. Ajani, Mentor of Heroes, another Ajani Planeswalker. I like that. Blue-white this time, so you can play him in Naya. Back to back with Ajani Vengeant. And +1 loyalty. Distribute 3 +1/+1 counters among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures you control. Again, I want to refer to that blue guy that takes an extra turn for 5 +1/+1 counters removed. +1 loyalty. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an aura, creature, or planeswalker card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest onto the bottom of your library in any order. Okay. -X ultimate, you gain 100 life. Most boring ultimate on a planeswalker ever, I think. If you can name another one, let me know. Yeah, but pure life gain is never good, right? Even if it's 100 life. But hey, okay. I don't think that guy will be that expensive, but we'll see. Athreos, God of Passage, the Orzhov God, legendary enchantment creature, God, 5/4, indestructible, blah blah blah, same as the other gods. Whenever another creature you own dies, return it to your hand unless target opponent pays 3 life. Holy shit. Holy shit. Black-white token deck incoming with that? Holy hell. Not token deck. Weenie deck. I mean, all like junk control. Yeah, wow, that's insane. That counters like every piece of removal ever. Yeah, you need to get rid of that guy. That power level is insane. Desperate Stand, red white, Strive. Desperate Stand costs. I'm again tripping over my words. Let's try that again. Desperate Stand. Red, white, Strive, Desperate Stand costs the red, white more to cast for each target beyond the first. Any number of target creatures each gain +2/+0 and gain first strike and vigilance until end of turn. Yeah, okay, I'm fine with that. That's a very red-white thing to do. Disciple of Deceit, Dimir, blue-black. 1/3 creature. Inspired, whenever this Disciple of Deceit becomes untapped, you may discard a non-land card. If you do, search your library for a card with the same converted mana cost as that card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. That can be very useful if you know what your deck's about. I like that guy. You can tutor up. That's something like Birthing Pod or Fauna Shaman or something like that. Yeah, you can. If you get lucky on the converted mana costs of cards in your hand, you can tutor up a lot of stuff. I like that. Fleet Feather Cockatrice or Cockatrice, Simic color for 5 mana, Flash, Flying Death Touch, and Monstrosity 3 for 7. So 6/6 flyer with Death Touch in the late game is not to be frowned upon. Yeah. Why Death Touch on a Simic creature? That's a black thing. All white. Okay. 5 mana Flash. Flash is neglectable, isn't it? Have to leave 5 mana up to do that. But the creature itself is sweet. Eurus, God of Victory, the Boros god. For 4 mana, 7/4. Creatures you control can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to attacking creatures you control. Are you fucking mad? Are you kidding me? Is that real? Holy shit, I don't want to play against that guy. Oh god, I feel the day that guy will drop on my battlefield for the first time. My opponent's battlefield, that is. Oh god, that guy will sell like hot potatoes. I can guarantee you that. Keranos, God of Storms, the Izzet god. 6/5, reveal the first card you draw on each of your turns. Whenever you reveal a land card this way, draw a card. Whenever you reveal a non-land card this way, Keranos deals 3 damage to target creature or player. Yeah, because Izzet wasn't good before. Okay, that's powerful. That is really good. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Don't rage about that. Krufix, God of Horizon, Simic god. A legendary enchantment creature god, indestructible for 7. You have no maximum hand size. Okay. If unused mana would empty from your mana pool, that mana becomes colorless instead. So you can carry colorless mana into your next steps, into your combat steps and stuff. That's kind of useful, but you have no maximum hand size. Are you kidding me? What? No. You can't do that. That's like an emblem on Tameo Ultimate. You can't do that on a creature. That's indestructible. No. Okay. Nyx Weaver. Oh, Golgari colors. 2/3 reach. At the beginning of your upkeep, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Okay. Exile Nyx Weaver, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. That's cool because Golgari has a lot of graveyard interactions, so that's nice. Yeah. Farika, God of Affliction, the Golgari god. You better be good. You better be good. Golgari is my favorite guild of Return to Ravnica, if you don't know that. And I want this guy in my Gorgon deck because he looks like a Gorgon. And yeah, let's see what she does. 5/5, that's not good. Indestructible. And black-green, exile target creature card from a graveyard. Its owner puts a 1/1 black and green snake enchantment creature token with Death Touch onto the battlefield. That's totally underwhelming in comparison to these guys and that guy and this guy. Why do you fuck me all the time on Golgari? Why does Golgari have to be so underwhelming in terms of power level? I like Golgari that much. Why do you do that? Well, 1/1 black and green snake enchantment creature with Death Touch is fine. But at least make the other gods similarly powerful. Okay, here we go. Revel of the Fallen God. 7 mana. Put 4 2/2 red and green Satyr creature tokens with haste onto the battlefield. Okay. Mana sink for aggro decks in the late game. Storm Chaser Chimera. 4 mana, flying 2/3. Scry 1, then reveal the top card of your library. Storm Chaser Chimera gets X plus 0 until end of turn, where X is that card's converted mana cost. Yeah, very green, yeah, not green, very is-it-like effect, I think. It looks fine with the eagle and bull head. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Underworld Coinsmith. 2/2 enchantment creature with constellation for white-black. Whenever Underworld Coinsmith or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Sure. Pay 1 life, each opponent loses 1 life. Okay. Armory of Yoras. 2 mana equipment. Whenever equipped creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay. Yeah, sure. Chariot of Victory. Equipped creature has first strike, trample, and haste. First strike, trample, haste. 4, equip 1. Yeah, sure. Deserters Quarters, not Deserts Quarters. Deserters Quarters. 2 mana artifact. You may choose not to untap Deserters Quarters during your untap step. 6 mana, tap target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's untap step for as long as Deserters Quarters remains tapped. Okay. Yeah, sure. Gold Forged Sentinel, a 6 mana, flying 4/4. Bleh. Hall of Triumph. 3 mana legendary artifact. As Hall of Triumph enters the battlefield, choose a color. Creatures you control of the chosen color get +1/+1. That's cool. Yeah, I like that. Mana Confluence. Oh, that's a land. We're up to land already. Mana Confluence. Pay 1 life. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Nice. Temple of Epiphany. That's the Izzet Scryland. And Temple of Melody, the Golgari Scryland. I want 4 of those in my Gorgon deck. Really much, because the Scry ability is that powerful. And my deck's rather slow, so I don't need the fast mana. And it doesn't matter that it enters the battlefield tap. The drawback of that is these guys are expensive as shit. Yeah, they cost a fortune. Well, not a fortune, but they're like $4 or $5 a piece. So, yeah, but I'd really like those in my deck. So far for these spoilers for Journey into Nyx. Overall, I'm pretty satisfied with that. I'm pretty excited to see how they will work out. And so far, if you enjoyed the video, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook and shit. I will probably stream more MTGO next week. This week I won't have the time because I have an assignment due, but I really wanted to get this video out to you. So for now, thanks for watching, enjoy your pre-release, and see you next time. Goodbye.